nose with literally no makeup on. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It has literally been ages since I sit down behind my camera and record a video. I also had to reset back up my whole camera because the whole setting had changed since Istanbul. So do let me know what you guys think of this setting that I have today in the comments below. Anyway, today is kind of like 1 month or 1 month and something post surgery, and I just wanted to give you guys an update video on how my nose is doing and also like my whole experience with Dr. Bora and his team. I'm choosing to go with them to get my rhinoplasty done. I would also give you guys some tips and tricks if you are planning to go to Istanbul to get any type of plastic surgery done, and if you are planning to reach out to Dr. Bora and his team to get your rhinoplasty done with them. I'll give you guys some information on my experience with Dr. Bora and his team. Also, stay to the end of the video. I am going to reveal how my breast scarring looks at the moment, how that is healing, and also how the nose is healing in terms of the scar as well. So at least you would have kind of like an idea of what you could expect if you are planning to get a rhinoplasty done. So you would get that information at the end of the video. So make sure and stay till the end. Also, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jezen, and on my channel you can expect to see videos on luxury fashion, travel, and vlogging. And also, please feel free to check out my Instagram. I know I haven't posted anything on Instagram for a while, but your girl is working on kind of like changing up her social media, well, her Instagram, and also finding someone to help with my recording on my Instagram as well. Anyway, please feel free to check out what I have on the Instagram channel. And yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yes, guys. So, oh my gosh, I have been so busy. So, at the moment, I am flat hunting, I am job hunting, I am having like a lot of stuff personally going on, which I would share with you guys in some upcoming videos. I just literally have everything all at once happening. So I've been really silent when it comes to social media, and that is kind of like one of the main thing why I'm not really looking into like doing my Instagram at the moment. But yeah, here I am today, and I know that this video has been long overdue because it's been over a month post surgery, and you guys need to hear the source. You guys need to know what's going on. You need to see the update on the nose and how that is healing. At the moment, my nose is still very swollen. It takes like a year to 2 years for the swelling to go down. So this is not the end result of my nose. So as time passes, the swelling is definitely gonna go down. So it's really swollen at the moment, and it's mainly like the front view. I can see like the swelling because it looks like my normal nose, but that should go down. Anyway, so I have prepared some questions here. I'm just kind of like to talk about my experience with getting my nose done with Dr. Bora and his team and what you guys could expect. And as I said, just stay to the end of the video. I will reveal like my breast scarring and also my nose scarring and how the healing is coming along with that, and also you would get the price that I paid to get my surgery done with Dr. Bora at the end of the video. Let's start off with pre-surgery. So pre-surgery, so first of all, how I found Dr. Bora. So I was looking on social media to find someone that is really good with ethnic rhinoplasty because I really wanted to get a natural result. I did find some few other doctors that I can't remember the name right now. However, Dr. Bora was the main person that stood out to me, and I was just like, I wanted to go with him because I can see like every single person on his page, they had like different nose. Like with some doctors, you would see like they create the exact nose on every single person, and everyone don't have the same nose in this world because we all have different facial features. So when I saw Dr. Bora's work on social media, Instagram be it, I was like, yes, this is the surgeon that I want to get my nose done by, because I was really amazed with his work. So when I decided that yes, Dr. Bora was the doctor that I wanted to go with, I contacted them via WhatsApp. So you would find their contact number on their Instagram page, and I'll put that up on screen. So they have it on their Instagram page, and I believe they have it on their TikTok page as well. And also they have a YouTube page where you can find all contact information for them. So my main source of communication with Dr. Bora and his team was via WhatsApp. You can also contact them via email as well. It's all up to you. So one of the first thing that I did, I wanted to get like a 3D image of how my nose would look. And what they said to me is, with the 3D image, it doesn't really give the full effect as to how your nose would look when you actually do surgery. So they don't really give a 3D image. You can always go by his work. You can reference his work, what he did on past patients, and you would know that yes, I am gonna get a really good job done. So also what they said to me, like in terms of the 3D image, they said that the end result is determined by the healing capacity of the skin, good post-op care, and skin elasticity. So for example, if you have really broad nose and really thick skin and you want like a tiny nose, and they do a 3D image showcasing a tiny nose, you're gonna expect that when your surgery is over. However, if you have broad nose and thick skin, you may not have a tiny nose like that, and that is why the 3D image could kind of be a bit misleading. And it's really good that how they don't offer it, because you don't want to go into surgery and expect it to come out exactly the same, but then after your surgery you see that it isn't exactly the same, and then probably you would just want to like keep asking questions, and it's gonna cause like conflict. So I just think it's really good how they don't offer 3D image as an option. I also asked them about like the full healing process, and they said to me that the full healing time for rhinoplasty, as I said before, it's 2 years. It all depends on each individual person, because we all heal differently based on our diet, based on like, I don't know, any type of like health issues that we may have, on our lifestyle. So it all varies from person to person. The next thing, in order for them to kind of like move forward with your case, they would ask you to give them some information. So some of the information that I needed to provide them with, I needed to give them like my full name, my date of birth, what is your weight and your height, because they take all of that into factor when they are kind of like doing your entire case, and also giving you a price for the rhinoplasty as well. I had to also send pictures of my face from the front and the side, and also the bottom of my nose. And I needed to also give like a surgery history, like if I had any surgery in the past and when did I have those surgeries. And they also asked me if I had any fillers in my nose. So I had really little fillers in my nose, because I did talk to one of my friends in the past, and I said, oh, I really want to, I'm thinking about getting a rhinoplasty done, and she was like, I don't think you need a rhinoplasty. However, before deciding to go and do it, I think you should get some fillers done just to see how that is gonna look. And fillers is not the best thing to do if you are planning to get a rhinoplasty, and I know a lot of people advise go get fillers, don't get a nose job. The fillers actually affects the nose job if you are planning to do it after. So what Dr. Bora explained, and I would put a video up on screen where Dr. Bora was talking about fillers during my consultation. So if you want, you can go and check that video out. But basically, the fillers create more swelling. If you don't get the fillers dissolved before surgery, they would basically have to spend more time to remove that fillers from in your nose area, and that may also cost more on your surgery time, because then they're taking longer to do your surgery. Our next thing is, if you could try to dissolve the fillers 3 weeks before your surgery. However, all the fillers never go. So that is something that you need to be aware of. If you are planning to do a nose job, just go and get a nose job done. Just make sure and do your research and go by a reputable surgeon, and that's the best advice that I would give to you. fillers is not the best when it comes to like injecting it in your nose. You know, it doesn't go completely, it's always there. Once you provide them with that information, they will then get back to you. Sometimes there are slight delays in them getting back to you. Like I had experience, sometimes they took like, I don't know, 2 days to maximum a week to get back. But what you have to do is, because they are so busy doing surgery like most days, they would take a while to get back. So what you have to do is you just chase them, because that's what I did. I just chased them. Hi, can I please have some updates on this? And then they would get back to you. So always, like, I know it's not ideal situation, but you have to remember that it is a surgeon, and he's really good at what he does, and that means that his team is literally going to be super busy. So I would just always advise, just chase them up if you find that they're taking like a little bit too long to get back to you. So the next question would be how long you need to stay in Istanbul for your surgery. So you need to stay in Istanbul 9 days for the whole procedure. So you need to get there 1 to 2 days before your surgery. And if you get there 1 day before your surgery, you need to get there very early, because you need to do your pre-ops consultation, make your payment, do your blood test, and have your consultation with Dr. Bora. So I got there 2 days before my surgery, just to be on the safe side, just in case there was any issue with my flight, which there was. So I just made sure and plan in advance. And then you need to be there 6 days after your surgery, and that's the minimum time that you can be there. Your cast is removed on the 6th day. So, and everything went like super smooth. Like I literally had no issue. So just, and in total that would be 9 days that you have like the whole surgery. Because if you arrive there 2 days before, you have your surgery day, and then you'd be there like 6 days. So that's 2, 4, 6. So that's 9 days in total, which is what I did, just to just play it safe. I also put in like a little clip of when I was going to get my cast removed and how that entire experience was. It's day number 6 and we are getting our cast removed in this vlog. So we are on our way to the clinic, and it is 3:42 p.m. here in Istanbul, and usually this is traffic hours. I need to get to the clinic for 4 p.m. I already made the taxi driver aware that I need to get there for 4, so hopefully we get there on time, because Dr. Bora's time is so precious. In terms of surgery update, so for 6 days the swelling has gone down in my face. Just my cheek area, I believe, is still slightly swollen. I did get bruise on my eyelid area and below my eyes when they removed the tape from on my face, on my eye area, because I have really sensitive skin. So that's why I have this bruising and this white scar up here, and also on this eye as well. So the whole eye area is currently scar at the moment.
It's very nice.
Oh wow. Wow. Oh my god. I love it. I look so pretty. So pretty.
Hey, who is this girl?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's very, like exactly what you want.
Overall, like, I was so shocked when my cast was removed, guys. Like, honestly, I literally loved my nose. Like, my new nose was so beautiful. Like, I look so beautiful, and the most important thing is that I saw that natural results, which is what Dr. Bora is specialized for. So you obviously, as a black person, you don't want to have a tiny ass nose, because mainly Caucasian people have very tiny pointy nose. you want to also keep your ethnic features, so you can go small, but you don't want to go too small and piggy because that don't look good. You don't want a Michael Jackson nose. And Dr. Bora don't do Michael Jackson nose, guys. You know, he look at your facial features and he craft you a beautiful nose to enhance your beauty. Next question is, how long does it take to get back to work after surgery? So it depends. So what they told me is most people when they leave Istanbul, they can get back to work right away. So when I was there, I met a flight attendant from Emirates, and after her 9 days, she needed to get back to work after. So I think she got back to work like 3 days after going back to Dubai. So it all depends, and also everyone is different. So I may heal faster than someone and I can come back to London and get back to work right away, whereas someone else, they would come back to London and they have like a lot of swelling, or they still have, I don't know, pain or something like that, and they can't get back to work. But most of the time they did recommend a lot of their patients when they leave Istanbul, they can get back to work right away. And also what you need to consider is, what is your job? So what do you do as a job? So if you do something that you work from home, or you're sitting in the office all the time, most of the time you can get back to work. If you do something like heavy duty work, like, I don't know, construction or something like crazy, I think it would be more difficult to get back to work in a job field like that. Another thing that they would ask you is, they would ask you to share like your expectations. So they would ask you to share like any photos that you may want to have for your results, or like what is it that you want? Do you want like your nose to be like, your bridge to be slightly smaller? Do you want your this to be slightly more prominent? Do you want it to be more raised? You know, so they will ask you what is your expectation, because they now need to access to see if your expectation is something that they can do. And Dr. Bora is very honest with his work, you know. So as I said before, like, if you have a really broad nose and thick skin and you expect to have like a tiny nose, they are going to tell you that that result is not possible because of how broad your nose is and because of how thick your skin is. So it's harder for someone who have super thick skin and really broad nose to get like a tiny nose like Michael Jackson. You know, it's gonna be difficult, and also you can be at risk as well during the surgery. And I think Dr. Bora consider all of these things, and it's really good, guys, because remember, when you are going to get a surgery like so drastic done, something like your nose or something like your breast, you are signing away your life, because anything can happen. You are going on anesthetic and anything can happen. So I really like how Dr. Bora and his team, they really consider all of these things before saying, okay, yes, I can do it, or before taking your money. Anytime you are deciding to go and do surgery, you are putting your life in a surgeon's hand. So you need to consider that you're putting your life, you're putting your beauty, you're putting your features, you're putting everything into the surgeon's hand. So you have to go with someone that you trust. Once you send them over that information, they would then basically create a proposal for you based on what you want to get and based on what they know that they can achieve. With the proposal does take into consideration your age, your weight, your BMI, your height, if you did surgery before, if you had fillers, you know. So your pricing takes all of these things into consideration. And if you have like any chronic disease as well, it takes that into consideration, because if you have like a chronic disease, probably there would be other things that the doctor would need to do in order to perform that surgery on you. So just make sure and stay to the end of the video, where I reveal the price and the breakdown of how my price looked for myself, so you can kind of like have an idea of what you could expect. But always remember, every individual person prices is going to be slightly different. Also, the proposal included paying a deposit, which we will talk about at the end of this video. I'm trying to keep this video as quick as possible, but there's a lot of information to share, and I just want to make sure and share everything with you guys, just to make this video informative. And like, if there's any questions that you guys may have, just holler at me in the comments below, and I would answer any questions or any concern that you may have. So once you pay that deposit, and usually they would ask you to pay it via bank transfer. So once you pay that, then you would have your confirmed surgery date and time. So once you have done that, they would then ask you to fill out a patient health form, like in details, and it's good to do that before arriving in Istanbul, because when you get there, at least you are gonna have less stuff to do when pertaining to your surgery. Now we are gonna talk about pre-op information. So once I finish my patient health form and I have my confirmed surgery date and time, they would send you some pre-op information, and I'll just put that up on screen, but also kind of like go through it with you guys. So there were certain things that I needed to avoid. So I needed to avoid any medication like aspirin, also like any herbal teas and foods such as garlic, lemon, or ginger. So you can have those things, but if you could avoid it, you try to avoid it. If you are having food that have garlic and ginger in it, you try to have it at a very small proportion, not like eat a whole garlic or eat a whole ginger. Also lemon as well. So if you're a person, you have like lemon water in the morning, you need to stop that. And also you need to avoid alcohol and cigarettes. So they said do not drink any caffeinated drinks. You have to quit that 3 days before the surgery. This was the most painful thing for me because I didn't really care about the other stuff. The main thing was the coffee for me, or like any type of like caffeinated drink. And also after surgery, I didn't have like any caffeinated drink, and after that, like having coffee felt like a bit weird. Also, you have to try to increase your daily intake of water, which was easy for me because usually I have my big pink bottle, which I've shown in other videos, that is like 2 liters, and it really helped me to drink my 2 liters of water and more every day. So if you're a person that struggles to drink water, I would highly recommend to get this bottle. I would link it below for anyone that wants to go and buy it. But yeah, this bottle, guys, is amazing. It really helps me to drink more water. I advised that I needed to remove my acrylic or any type of nails, nail polish, eyelashes before the surgery, as well as any piercings. So I needed to remove my navel piercing. I also had side piercing on my ears that I needed to remove. So every single thing needed to remove. And also if you wear wigs, you needed to remove your wig as well. So you just needed to go in the surgery like a blank canvas, which you guys saw in my videos. So I hope you guys get to check out my surgery videos. But it was just literally me. How I came out of my mom's belly, that was me. Blank canvas, ready to get my surgery done. If you wear glasses, they recommend to bring contact lens, because after your surgery you can't have anything on the bridge of your nose. Another thing that they can do for you as well, they can organize hotels, they can organize also airport transfer, because these were all things that was offered to me. I just find it cheaper for me to organize these things on my own. So for me, I used Uber a lot when I was in Istanbul. Uber was like my best friend. For the airport transfer, it may not be the ideal thing, because for Ubers, there's a certain location that they can only stop to pick up passengers from the airport. So just be quite aware of that. If you are planning to use an Uber from the airport to go to your hotel, most likely you would have like a really long walk to go to meet that Uber, and it may be a bit confusing. So I would recommend, like, if you want to organize like your airport transfer and your hotel on your own, if you are booking through booking.com, from booking.com you could also book an airport transfer as well, which may cost you slightly cheaper than getting it done via the clinic. I had some few friends that did it through booking.com, and they said the service was quite smooth. At the airport, I booked myself an Uber when I got there, which cost me really cheap. So I think it cost me was like £20. from the airport to my hotel. And that was in the middle of Istanbul. And also in terms of hotel, so for hotels, I stayed at 2 hotels in Istanbul. My first night I stayed at Ramada Hotel, and that was such a beautiful hotel. I also did do a review video that I would put up on screen for you guys to check out, just giving you guys a review of the hotel. If you haven't checked that out, please do feel free to check it out. So I stayed at the Ramada for 1 night, and then I also stayed at the Hilton, and there's a review video on the Hilton Hotel, so please feel free to check that out as well. Just reviewing the Hilton Hotel. The thing we want to talk about is arriving in Istanbul. So Dr. Bora and his team, they were honestly like so caring, guys. I felt so supported. So if you did watch my vlogs, you would know that I did do this experience on my own. However, I did have you guys with me, so I had so many of my friends and family supporting me on social media. So even though I went to do this experience on my own, I didn't feel like if I was on my own, because I had you guys with me, and also I had Dr. Bora and his amazing team. So once you arrive in Istanbul, they would then send you all the information that you need for your pre-ops consultation with Dr. Bora. So you would have to arrive and you have to go to the clinic to get your blood taken. You have to also go to get your consultation and sign your consultation form, and also make the balance of your payment in cash. And I'll talk about everything when it comes to the money side of things at the end. Also, you get to meet Dr. Bora. Meeting Dr. Bora was so surreal, guys. Like, seeing him on his social media is completely different from when you see Dr. Bora in person. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, this feels so surreal for me. Here is Dr. Bora in front of my face. I am literally going to do this. I have done like separate videos kind of like explaining literally every single thing. I've also done a video on where you go for your surgery, so the Vanity Clinic. I've done a review video on the Vanity Clinic, so feel free to check that out. And it's basically giving you guys a review of the clinic and what you could expect at your pre-ops consultation, and also like meeting Dr. Bora as well. So just check out that video and you guys would find all the information you need there. But the clinic was spotless. It was spotless. It was so clean. It smelled amazing. Like, everything was perfect. Okay guys, so finally we are gonna reveal our scarring, and let's get into talking about how my scarring look, how the breast scarring looks at the moment, how it is healing, and also how the nose scarring look at the moment and how it is healing. So guys, this is my nose with literally no makeup on. I just wanted to show you guys how the scarring looks at the moment and how beautiful it's healing. I am overall so happy with the healing process so far. Also with my rib cartilage scarring as well, I'm really happy with how that is coming about. So just to show you the nose, so this is the scarring of my nose area at the moment. So it may look slightly crooked, my whole area, but if I put up an original picture of my nose before, you would see that my holes wasn't basically like centered. Like, one of them was kind of like slightly twisted a bit. But if I put my hand in the middle of my nose, just right here, you would see that my nose is definitely centered to my lip area. Usually in terms of the swelling does take a year to 2 years to go down completely. So if I put some original photos of how my nose looked right after surgery, you can kind of like see a more prominent design of what I actually wanted to achieve. Whereas now my nose is still quite swollen. So I did take my nose out of the cast this morning actually, and it is still a bit swollen because it's like 3 hours since my nose has been out of the cast, so it is swelling again at the moment. So this is the side profile for you. So overall, I am really happy with my results. I just think it's very natural, and it's exactly what I wanted to achieve. In terms of the front, I think the front can be slightly sharper. However, Dr. Bora did inform me that that is gonna go down after some time. For the scarring on my nose, I am currently using a gel which they gave me. However, just please stay tuned to my other videos. I would be telling you guys like all the treatment that you would have to do to your nose post surgery, which would help with the scarring and just every single thing. So now let's move into my rib scarring. So this is how my rib scarring look at the moment, and I hope you guys can see that. So basically they took the rib cartilage out of my right breast, and it's a 4 centimeter incision, and that's basically how they did it. So they did it where it is less visible. So like if I just leave my breast on its own, that is gonna be less visible there. But overall, I love how that healing is coming about so far. So one of the fear that I did fear with my rib cartilage is that it is gonna heal dark, but it isn't. Like, it's healing beautiful. That's my skin tone there, and this is just like a month and something post surgery. So overall, I am really happy with the results of my rib, and also with the results of my nose as well. So let's get back into the video. Yes, family. So now we are going to be talking about costs. So cost is what you guys have been waiting on, because I know that's the most important thing with everything. How much you paid for your nose surgery. This is the cost that I paid for my nose surgery, and this is the breakdown of everything. So it was 5,800. I had to pay my 800 deposit, which is non-refundable. As you guys can see on the form, it says deposit is non-refundable. That is made via bank transfer. So they would provide you with Dr. Bora's information, and you just need to transfer over your deposit to them. And also, as I said previously, that confirms your surgery date and time. If you don't pay your deposit, you can't expect to have a surgery date and time, because these people are busy, guys. They are good at what they do, so they are busy. So pay your money in order to move forward with your surgery. What does that cost include? So as they said on the form, that your remaining amount is paid in cash. So me hearing that the first time, I was like, what? Is this a scam? What is going on? I'm not gonna pay all that money in cash. It is hard to get cash out of the bank account here in London. When you try to get cash out, you get 20s, 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 20s. So imagine having to have, like, my surgery was 5,000 in loads of 20s, flying into Istanbul. That is crazy and unsafe to me as a woman with all that cash. But I did it. If you don't want to pay in cash, you can also wire the money, but then you get charged an additional 10%, which you don't want to pay, because you're already paying expensive for your surgery, and on top of that, an additional 10%, you don't want that. So I would highly recommend to pay your money in cash when you get to the clinic. So once you have paid your deposit, you need to send an email to Dr. Bora with the receipt of your deposit, and also it says with your passports, and let them know, okay, that you have paid it. So you can email them. For me, as I said, I communicated with them via WhatsApp, so there was no need for me to do that. However, it is required for you to do it. In terms of the fees, so the 5,800, that included one night stay at the hospital, which included breakfast and dinner. It included pre-op blood tests, so they would do certain blood tests on you. And also it included like any doctors and nurse fee, the anesthesia fee, and the surgery fee, and also post-op visit as well, because obviously once you finish your surgery, you need to go back to visit them. They need to check your how are you cleaning your nose. They need to check also your rib. So for me, I had to go back for them to change my my rib bandage, and there is a video on that as well, a vlog. Please check it out. So yeah, I had to go back for them to change that. So I thought the price was really good for what was included. Also, what you need to be prepared for, make sure and have additional cash, or make sure and have a card with money on it, because you need to pay for your medication after surgery, and you need to probably have, like, I would say 40 to 50 pounds depending on what you need. So for example, for me, my medication came up to 40 pounds. When I spoke to other girl, her medication came up to 25 pounds. When I spoke to another girl, her medication came up to $60. So every single person is different. When Dr. Bora does your surgery, when Dr. Bora access you, when they do your blood work, there are certain things with all of those information will determine what medication is required for you. And then obviously when you go there, probably one brand of medication is going to be run out, so you're going to get a different brand of medication. So it all depends. Everyone's case is different. So for me, I got a medication for my skin because I have really bad acne prone skin. So I got that for post surgery. Whereas another girl, she has beautiful skin, she didn't need that medication because it's a severe medication. It's called Roaccutane. It's actually something that I may be going on from next month with my GP here in the UK. But these are all the things that they put into consideration before you pay for anything. So don't go and be like, oh, but how you get that and I didn't get that. I'm going to message Dr. Bora. Guys, these people don't have time for all of that. Just always remember that every case is different, and they really do take their time to access every single patient to decide on what medication you are getting, on how they are going to perform your surgery, if they're going to perform open rhinoplasty or closed rhinoplasty. On me, they performed open rhinoplasty because they needed to take out the fillers that I had in my nose. So every single thing depends on that patient, and it also depends on your health during operation as well. So just always remember that. So remember that Dr. Bora has your good interest at hand. So the big question is, would I recommend Dr. Bora to get ethnic rhinoplasty or to get a nose job? What do you think is the answer, guys? After every single thing that I said, what do you think is the answer? Of course, yes, 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 yes. I would highly recommend Dr. Bora. His work is amazing. You can trust him because doing plastic surgery is trusting someone with your life, because you're signing off your life to that individual person. So you can trust him, and you can also trust to bring that money in cash and know that you are not going to get a botch nose when you're finished. Because it's scary. I've heard so many scary stories of people going to Istanbul to get their nose done, and it's either to get a nose botch or they are asking them for more money after their surgery, you know. So I can highly recommend Dr. Bora as a reputable surgeon, as a surgeon that knows what he's doing when it comes to obviously people with skin of color, because we scar differently, you know. So even if you're not skin of color, even for like a person of a Caucasian ethnicity, I would highly recommend Dr. Bora as well, because he takes in consideration every single patient. He takes in consideration like if you have different skin issues, and just every single thing. So yes, I would highly recommend Dr. Bora to get your nose job done with him. What I want to talk about, just please stay tuned to other videos talking about my nose job. Any questions that you guys may have, just leave it down below in the comments. And also I am going to be having a Q&A, and I'm going to be posting that on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please check out the Instagram channel and follow me there. I would be having a Q&A for my nose job, because I am going to have an upcoming video just answering any type of like questions you guys may have, or any type of concern that you guys may have and wanting just clarity on. Just like follow me on Instagram and just look at my stories to participate in my Q&A. I won't be posting my Q&A until the next couple of weeks, so you have enough time. I would post twice on my Instagram just asking you guys questions. You guys just send that over. If it's a lot of questions, I would split it into two, because this video has been like super long, but it was a lot of information, so I hope you guys find it informative. And also look out for my other videos where I'm giving you guys like all the information that you need for post-ops. So like the medication that I had to take, the scarring gel that I needed to use on my nose, how you use it, also how you tape your nose as well. So just look out for like all of those videos coming up in the future. Do let me know like if you what you guys think of my nose, if you like the results, if you can tell the difference, because to me I am worried about my front area that I can't really tell the difference in the front. But I do think that I need to give it time. It is gonna take time in order to see the end result. So just always remember that if you are planning to get a nose job, you are gonna see the difference, because I can see the difference in my nose, but you're not gonna see the full effect of how your nose is gonna look. It's gonna take 1 to 2 years, as I said previously. Anyway, if you reached to the end of the video, thank you guys so much for staying tuned, and thank you so much for all the support, and thank you for being patient with me for how long I take to release this video. It's been 2 weeks since I released a normal video on my channel, so I hope you guys missed me, because I missed you. Anyway, thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you on the next one.